Welcome to Terry on Tuesday. Welcome to the first proper video of 2025. I would like to thank everyone who joined me for my end of the year show last Tuesday, which conveniently fell on New Year's Eve, and we went from 10 till about 10 past midnight. And at one point I had like 11 viewers, which sounds pathetic if you're PewDiePie, but for me that was really good. So thank you to I was going to list names then, but if I forget someone they'll feel left out. But thank you to everyone who popped in, had a chat, blah blah blah, listen to me waffle on. What I'm going to do with this video is quickly do a really quick sum up of that last video, which is basically me talking about what happened in 2024 for me, some of the highlights and some of the lowlights, and prepare for what's going to be a really good video. So apologies for this one being a bit rubbish, but next week's going to be very, very interesting, and I'll get into that in a bit. By the way, 2 weeks ago I did a video asking everyone what project should I finish first out of costumes and prop builds and all these kinds of things, and the general consensus is the Blake 7 Federation Trooper costume, which I'm going to do. I've already had a mad bout of inspiration, we could call it. As you've probably know from watching my videos over the last 2 years, I'm going through this voyage of self-discovery regarding ADHD, and I'm basically a textbook case. So this explains why I've got lots of unfinished projects and why I get a dopamine hit from starting something new, which I very rarely finish, but I'm getting better at it. Anyway, we'll talk about my latest crazy idea a bit later on. But first, I have a printout of what happened last year, which I read through on my my New Year's Eve end of the year show video, which is no longer visible. I went into that in detail, and I was answering people's questions and talking about other people's, situations and stuff, and I didn't feel it was a good thing to leave that up for the world to see at large. So kind of respecting everyone's privacy and probably mine. Okay, so here we go. I've actually shrunk down the thing, so it's not going to take that long. January 2024. On January the 1st, I saw 3 magpies, which, if you know anything about that, it's basically, it's the old rhyme: 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret, never to be told, from the old TV show. But it's a superstition, and I'm weirdly a little bit superstitious, even though I don't really put any stock into all of that. And I read my horoscopes, and I know it's nonsense, and Carl Sagan is spinning in his grave even as we speak. Anyway, I saw 3 magpies, which stands for 3 for a girl. Now, I think generally, traditionally, that means there's going to be like a female child born in the family. A female child? But for me, being a terminal singleton, I basically see it as, what's that flashing? Oh, it's my monitor. So being a singleton, I see this as 3 for a girl turning up in my life, which would be really nice. But that was January the 1st last year. I'll let you know. Okay, also at the start of January, I did the usual, right, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to lose some weight, like everyone does. And I started on my cross trainer machine, the infernal machine upstairs, and for most of January, and it fizzled out by the 29th of January. But on the 15th of January, we started editing the footage that we filmed for Bloody Students back in December 2023. That does exist, and I think it's visible on my channel somewhere. And that was the stuff with Paul Putner and some of the other cast, and it turned out really nice. Shame the film didn't happen. Okay, 18th. The 1990s cartoon series, The Raccoons, has been licensed to do novelizations of some of the classic episodes, and the creator of The Raccoons, Kevin Gillis, finally saw my artwork for the books and really loves it. He seemed like a super nice guy. Okay, The 19th of January, Offworld got its US and Canada release on Amazon and iTunes and Microsoft and all these other platforms, but nothing on Amazon UK because we made the mistake of putting a web address in the end credits, which needed to be fixed and it needed to be resubmitted. And finally, Offworld Alien Planet, as it's now called, is available on Amazon UK now to watch for free. I've been told in the last few days it's appeared on a number of dodgy streaming sites, but why not watch it on Amazon at better quality for free? And it helps us. We don't get any money from it, but it helps, pay back our distributors for everything they've done for us. So watch that. Look, and give us a rating as well. We're doing quite good in the ratings. Okay, 28th. Here we are on dopamine and crazy cosplay ideas. I bought a Skeletor mask, a skeleton mask, and I started modding it to look like Skeletor. And so far I've got half a hood and half a mask. I will probably get round to doing that. Maybe this year, who knows? That was it. Oh, the 30th of January, a friend of mine passed away in basically a tragic accident. My mate was Andy Brotherton. He's there. He took the first photos of me ever as dressed up as Jack Sparrow in 2008 when I first made a costume. And poor chap had an accident at home and passed away pretty quickly. Very sudden, very tragic. And he shall be missed because he was a great photographer and a good laugh. February. Okay, from the 4th to the 7th, for some reason, I've written here, I was feeling very, very
What
low.
a pisser.
There's a few points of that through the year, actually. I tend to mark down the occasions where I feel blue or low or whatever, because that kind of stuff never leaves you, but I should really be celebrating the good stuff, which I kind of am anyway. Okay, 4th of February as well. Maybe this is the reason for feeling blue. My lead actress for Bloody Students pulled out of the film. We'd already shot some stuff with her, and she's great. She's a really fun person, really good actress, very good actress indeed. And her scenes were natural and amazing and everything, but she couldn't do it. At the time, it was a secret, but she is with child. So I think she may have had the baby by now. Well, good luck anyway. But sadly, when any actor pulls out of a film, especially if they've shot some stuff, it's very costly to redo those scenes, and the money was running out. Anyway, on the 10th of February, I had a weird thing where I went down the local pub to see a mate of mine I haven't seen for a while. Very old mate, and not that he's very old, but he's the same age as me. But he was shocked and appalled by the fact that I said I'm trying to give up drinking because I don't want 3-day hangovers. It's as simple as that. And the amount of grief he gave me for not drinking alcohol, I'm like, dude, you can drink whatever you like. I just don't want to. And apparently that's some kind of cardinal sin. But that's par for the course, apparently. Everyone I know who doesn't drink anymore has said that they found it very hard to convince their friends to tell them, I don't want to drink anymore. But I got very drunk on Boxing Day. We'll get to that in December. Anyway, on the 12th of February, I had an online Zoom call for an ADHD assessment. And it lasted just over an hour. And the guy was talking to me about my life and how far back it goes and my habits and things like that. And he was basically tick, 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 tick. Yeah, it sounds like you're pretty much a textbook ADHD, but there's going to be a long wait before I get any kind of confirmation. I'm not doing this for benefits. I'm not doing this for medication or therapy. I just want some closure, just to confirm what I've been thinking all this time. And it does explain like anyone who discovers that they're ADD, ADHD, or whatever you want to call it, or anything neurodivergent or on the spectrum, it's suddenly like a light bulb in your head. You go, oh, that's why I do that, and that's why I've always done this, and that's why I've messed up relationships and stuff like that. Anyway, so more news when that happens. 18th, I did a new logo for EMP, Esprit Music Productions. formerly known as Earl Lane Studios, and before that known as the Apartment Recording Studios. My longtime music producer, Lennis Esprey. He's moved to Cardiff Bay, and his new studio has that logo, which I did. And it's very good too. 19th to the 23rd, I cancelled the proposed Bloody Students shoot because A, we didn't have a lead actress, and B, another actor didn't pull out but said they weren't available on those dates. And poor chap, I say poor chap, he's got the wonderful job of being a runner on Doctor Who. So who am I to say, don't do that, do my film? So we just cancelled it because it would have cost a lot more money to actually, do it twice or whatever. Plus, I hadn't filled the role of the lead actress, and I still haven't to this day, in fact. Okay, on the 20th of February, I met up with a chap known as the Curator's TARDIS. I've known him for many years online, but only met him in real life, I think, for the first time this last year, where he picked up the sarcophagus that he picked up for me up in Northampton and drove it down, and we had a couple of hours in the house chewing the fat and talking and stuff, and then I bumped into him again later on at a convention in South Wales, which we'll get to. March the 5th is always a date for me. March the 5th marks the 45 years I've been living in Wales. I moved to Wales on the 5th of March 1980, so that's kind of a milestone for me, 45 years. 10th of March, went to ExeterCon, my first convention of the year with Emmy and James. I did my Mandalorian. It was very, very cold. No, it wasn't too bad, Exeter, actually. It was more spaced out, more room, not as busy as some of the big conventions, and it was a really good day. 16th, I did a Glaston Selfie Cup design for the local Glaston Selfie charity festival. They're celebrating their 10th year this year, and I'll be doing a new centenary, or what do you call it, 10-year anniversary cup. Excuse you, what? And then in March, from the 22nd to the 24th, we did another convention with me, James and Emmy, MegaCon. I did Jack Sparrow on the first day, first time wearing the new suit, and Hunter S. Thompson on the second day. Most people thought I was a character from One Piece, that character, whoever he is, because Hunter S. Thompson dresses similar. But a few people did come up to me and go, oh, Hunter S. Thompson, which was nice to be recognised. April, from the 9th to the 11th of April, I was very low again. I haven't written a reason why, but you can see at the start of every month, I seem to be a bit, okay. 16th, got a new pair of specs. I found a load of adverts online called gogglesforyou.co.uk, and I sent my prescription in, and they sent me a great pair of specs back that were reactor light and really nice specs for less than 30 quid. So sorry, high street opticians, you can shove it, because they're equally as good as anything. They're not cheap, they're not nasty, they're really, really nice specs, and I should be wearing them right now. Where are we now? On the 17th, I went to a car boot sale, and I picked up a copy of the Western Mail newspaper, which is a South Wales-based newspaper. But I noticed on the cover was that, and I thought, hang on, that's a fake headline. Turns out that was one of many fake front covers made for the 2005, so 20 years ago, 2005 Doctor Who episode Boomtown, in which the lady on the cover is Margaret Blaine, who's an alien, blah, blah, blah. So I picked it up for a quid, and then I sold it for 200 quid. So that went down really well, and the money went into the Bloody Students Film Fund. So that was a nice bit of, I could have framed it and stuck it on the wall, but I thought, I'm making a film. If I knew back then. Anyway, where are we next? May. In May, I started drawing cartoon characters of 60s band The KINKS for another pop video, which was due to come out in August for their famous song, You Really Got Me, You Really Got Me, because it was the 60th anniversary of that song coming out in 1968, I think. Anyway, more on that later. On the 9th, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes came out, which is the fourth in the new revamped Apes reboots. I love anything to do with Planet of the Apes, and it was a bit of a risk because it was since Disney took over, people were wondering if there were going to be any more Apes films, and if this Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes didn't make enough money, that would be the end of the franchise. But fortunately, it did really well, and there's another one on the way. Yay! Apes Together Strong, right? 14th, we launched the Bloody Students Kickstarter, target of £5,000. And on the 18th and 19th of May, we did a convention in Barry, which was BarryCon, their first convention down there with the guys. I was there with Candy Jar. I was also there with Ank Harrod, Kells from Bloody Students. She was there for all weekend helping me raffle loads and loads of goodies off, and we raised a lot of money for the film. I'm getting melancholy. Also, I did Jack Sparrow on the first day. But, you know, thanks to everyone who entered the raffles and stuff, we made money for the film. We spent that on, blimey, props and what else did I use it on? Props, business stuff, editing, equipment, t-shirts, that kind of malarkey. Now, by the 30th of May, the last day of May, we'd raised £2,500 on the Kickstarter, so 50% really quickly, so that was pretty good. In June, I went to the Glammies, which, if you don't know, is the end-of-year award show for the University of South Wales. It used to be called the Glamorgan University, so that's why it's called the Glammies, and it's where all the animation students get to show their films and win awards. It was kind of the last time for me because my third-year tutor, Mr. Hutchinson, was retiring, so I thought I'd better turn up and make a speech and embarrass him. So that was it. I've been going to the Glammies and providing the voiceovers for the Glammies for about 15 years, but it did fizzle out in the last few years when the University of South Wales took over and refused to pay me for my services. Anyway, right, that was 7th of June. Now, on 10th of June, I cancelled the Kickstarter. On the day before, we were going to hit the target of £5,000 because some of the money that I'd already put into, me and my co-producer had put into the film, got frozen by the HMRC. Not that there was anything wrong, but we had to close our limited company down because it was too soon to open it. But they saw that as, what's going on here? So they temporarily froze the account. I think it's been sorted now, but I was worried that we wouldn't have access to that money there. So I thought, I'm not going to take the Kickstarter money on top of that if I can't shoot the film that I promised. So no, I just cancelled it and said, no, let's call it quits. Currently, Bloody Students is on the shelf. And if you look at my my videos list, I did a video a couple of weeks ago offering anyone out there to have the film under a certain set of conditions. If you want a fully written, planned out, with all the graphics and, you know, most of the cast in place and all that kind of stuff, you know, fully written comedy horror film, contact me. Let's talk. Watch the video first though. Then, where were we? 14th of June, I went up to Gloucester Prison to see my mate Clive, and we had a recce for what would be the mummified film, which we shot last year. On the 16th again, it says here, very low again, probably because I realised Bloody Students was not going ahead. 17th, my favourite singing comedienne, Jude Pearl, started doing live videos every Tuesday. She's in Melbourne, Australia, so they're usually about 9 or 10 in the morning for me, although they're 9 or 10 in the evening for her. But it's absolute joy to sit there and, you know, throw in requests and have her sing with that incredible voice. She's just the best. And the 28th and 29th, especially the 29th, the Glaston Selfie Festival. Very, very hot day. I did Jack Sparrow for 4 hours, I think it was. it was a scorcher, but it was always good fun. And, you know, they look after me, and we'll be doing it again this year. July, the general election on the 4th of July. Finally got rid of the Conservative Party after 14 years of getting royally shafted. But, excuse me, while there was a week or two of vague hope, it turns out that the new incumbent government, the Labour Party, is not doing very well. I voted for them, not expecting them to solve all the problems immediately, but if they don't do very well in this term, I'll vote for someone else. As simple as that. I'm not loyal to any one party. I'd rather just get the current party out of power if they're not doing a good job. And let's face it, it ain't going too well, is it? Anyway, bit of politics. Mine has been out, and good night. What's next? 7th. Oh yeah, middle of summer again, boiling hot, going to cough. And we're back. 7th of July, I saw Randy Feltface live. And while I was waiting in the queue in a very, very busy Cardiff Bay, I actually spotted Randy Feltface's manager and went up to him and said hello, and he was quite surprised that anyone recognised him. But I also thanked him for finding Jude Pearl, because they're both Australians. So that was cool, and it was a good show. Front row seat too. 8th of July, had the blues again. Not sure why. And it also says here 19th to the 23rd, had the blues. Big proper low point at the end of July. I don't know why that is. You think I'd be happy with the Tories out? Anyway, August, went with Emmy and James to the all-you-can-eat buffet in Cardiff. That was great fun, although I had to go home and sleep for a long time. I ate far too much. 8th of August, had the blues again. Probably because I weighed myself. I didn't weigh myself until December, but we'll get into that. 17th, had an eye test. I have regular eye tests because of my eye condition, and they were like checking this eye's good, and they did all the lenses, better, worse, read the letters, all this kind of stuff. Did this eye, and they're like, out of focus, new lens, out of focus. And she was like, why is everything out of focus? So the optician was like, I'm not sure why your eye is constantly out of focus. Then it dawned on her, and she said, you've got a cataract on the way. So obviously stuff's getting cloudy inside my eye, so I can't focus. It's not operable just yet, but if I do that, yeah, things are still out of focus, and even with my glasses, they're still out of focus. So we're going to get that sorted in the upcoming couple of years. By the 19th of August, the KINKS video for You Really Got Me was done, and you can watch that on YouTube right now on the official KINKS channel. Very chuffed to have played a tiny part in the KINKS' ongoing success. Such an iconic band. And obviously Ray Davis, the lead singer of the KINKS, approved my artwork, animated by Gareth Wood. So that went down really well. I also made the decision in August to stop doing car boot sales due to costs. It was becoming expensive, and with no bloody students film, there's no point me going looking for Egyptian stuff. And I could do with saving some money. So we decided not to do that anymore. September, I started binge watching The Prisoner, the 1968 17 episodes classic Patrick McGoohan 60s surrealist TV show, which I couldn't watch as a kid because I just thought it was rubbish. But now I'm into surrealism and stuff. I thought I'd give it another go. And it was shot in a little North Welsh town called Portmeirion, which looks like that. It's very strange, very weird. And I really liked The Prisoner. It grabbed me. I even watched the 2009 remake with Jim Caviezel, Hayley Atwell, and who's You Shall Not Pass, Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen. And I know a lot of people hate it because they're in love with the 60s version, but the 2009 version isn't terrible. It's got Lenny James in it. Anyway, I'm going to Port Marion in next weekend. Can't wait. And that's what next week's video is all about. So stay tuned. Be seeing you, as they say in The Prisoner. Right, on the 5th of September, we did the first day shooting in Gloucester Prison for Mummified with Angharad and Hannah, reprising their roles from Bloody Students in a slightly modified storyline. Also brought 3 guys in, Lucas Edwards, Harvey Hill and Callum Owen playing the mummies. Lucas has since gone on to play the bogeyman in Doctor Who at the Proms. So if you're a tall chap, there's a lot of monster work out there for you. That was cool. So we had a full day's shooting there, and it was nice to direct something for the first time in ages, 8 years. October, oh sorry, on the 19th of September, I turned the 3 costumes into what I call mummy dummies. So I stuffed them and made, because we needed dead mummies for the next couple of days shooting, because we don't need people in them. So in October, I did a voiceover for a chap who contacted me out of the blue, saw my YouTube video.
Darkness falls across the land, the midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whomsoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.
Where I was doing an impression of Vincent Price on the Thriller song, and this guy messaged me. His name is Christian Cordes, and he said, would you do that voiceover for a song I'm writing? And I'm like, sure. So he sent me the song. It's very synthwave, John Carpenter style. It's called I Scream, and it's about a slasher who drives an ice cream van, and I had to do this kind of Vincent Price voiceover in the middle of the song. So I did that for him, and he was nice enough to chuck me a couple of dollars. I said, no charge, and he said, I'll throw you a couple of dollars for your thing. But there was an added bonus to that. It's a good song, and it was good fun, and he seems like a sound guy. But the added bonus was, it turns out he's the son of the late, great Prince B from PM Dawn. And I used to love PM Dawn. And also, Christian now works for a chap called Kevin Smith, another one of my heroes. So that was a double win for me. It was an honor to actually do that. And if you want to hear the song I Scream, I'll put a link in the description, but it's there somewhere with my little Vincent Price voiceover in the middle. 10th of October, second day shooting for Mummified using the mummy dummies. That went really well as well. 13th, oh yeah, SpaceX news. Of late, in recent times, my appreciation, shall we say, for Elon Musk has gone right down the tubes. I understand that he's neurodivergent, but that doesn't mean he's instantly my buddy. But he comes across as not a very nice person in things he's been doing. Twitter was the worst thing he ever did. But you can't deny that the SpaceX Starship program is absolutely groundbreaking. It's the biggest, heaviest, fastest rocket ever made. And they managed to do, on the 13th of October, a catch. They caught the booster rocket returning to Earth, faster than a bullet. They fired the engines on it, caught it in what they call the chopsticks, ready to reuse. So that was a major, major turning point in space flight technology, I guess. 19th, sad news. I keep saying my cat. He wasn't my cat. He was kind of a stray who got kind of adopted by my landlords next door, and he used to, visit me when I lived next door, and then he started coming into the house here, and he got comfy enough with me. This is the cat that used to hiss and scratch me and attack me, who got comfy enough to climb onto my lap and fall asleep. But he passed away. He had a bad heart, apparently. So that was a bit sad. 20th to the 24th of October, it says here, I had the blues. Maybe I was mourning Jasper, the cat, or something else. On the 26th, though, I booked my upcoming trip to Port Merion. A lot of people call it Port Merion, but I say Port Merion because I know how to pronounce Welsh words. I'm going to ask them next week when I go there. Is it Port Merion or Port Merion? I'm fairly sure it's Port Merion because there's an E anyway. So that was fun. November, we're nearly done. November. Oh my God, I just realized this is a half-hour video. I'm really sorry. November, final third day at Gloucester Prison to shoot Mummified. We finished it all up, went really well, and we've started editing it. The 10th of November, 1 year at where I currently live, first year. This is the best place I've ever lived. Everything's like right. It's the right size. It's the right price. It's the right warmth. It's the right everything for me. Really love being here. I've stayed in like posh flats down the bay and stuff, and other places and houses with friends and stuff. But this is genuinely my most comfortable, most awesome place that I live in, and I don't want to move ever. Okay, 11th of November, Blake 7 Series 1 or Series A came out on Blu-ray. One day I might review that, but maybe it's a bit late for that now. 11th to the 19th, I was feeling unwell. I was coughing and I was sneezing and everything. Didn't have a temperature and it wasn't COVID, okay? But as you can probably tell from this video, I've been coughing ever since, just like a little horrible tickly cough that won't go away. And a lot of people have the same thing. And it's not the vaccine, okay? Anyway, we finished a video for Jim Croce. His name actually might be Crochet or Crochet. I think it's Jim Croce. But he was a 60s singer, no longer with us, but he did a number of memorable tunes, especially for Americans. But we did a Christmas song, and to this date, I don't think it's been released. I think we were waiting for approval. I'll have to check. It might be online. If it is online, I'll put a link in the description. But as far as I know, I don't think it's out. 23rd of November. There's that damn cough again. 23rd of November, I started writing what will be my 4th novel for Candy Jar. It is something I can't divulge really. Only a handful of people know what it's about. So yes, I started writing this new novel, which I can't talk about yet, but I did reveal the title of the novel on my End of the Year show. And here it is really briefly. Blink and you may have missed it. 25th of November, second day of editing on Mummified. We're nearly done editing. Now we're into December. On the December the 12th, I hit 32,000 words on my new novel. On the 20th was my birthday. I hit 55 and we went for a buffet with me, Emmy and James again, the Chinese buffet place. And, you know, not Chinese, but all types of food. It was great. And on the 25th, I had Christmas dinner with a friend of mine. And then on the 26th, I was with James's house with Emmy and James again for drinks and board games and loads of movies. And I was drunk a lot and I was hungover for 3 days, but it was probably the best Christmas I've had for many, many, many years. On the 28th, I woke up, a little bit hungover, and I thought, do you know what? I want to go to eBay. So I went to eBay and I went and bought this. Yes, another one. I used to have one a few years ago. And I've decided that as part of my motivation for getting fit and healthy, this may be my last chance at my advanced age to do that as a costume. So that's going to be my end of the year kind of goal, to do my Batman Returns costume finally, which means this has got to go. But I'm going to Port Merion next week, and I shall be back next week with a video hopefully showing some of what we got up to in Port Merion. But this video is ridiculously long. I thought it'd be like 10 minutes. It turns out it's like coming up to 40 minutes, so I do apologize. But if you stayed with me all the way through, thank you. I'll try and remember what links have got to go down in the description. But I have had a couple of new subscribers, so thank you everyone. The videos aren't always me just sitting here talking. If you look through my past videos, there's interesting stuff going on and props and stuff. Hopefully we'll have more of that going on this year. So all that remains is for me to say what I normally say. Take care now. Bye-bye then.